How we doing, everybody? Men, happy Friday to you. As you know, Friday
Thanks, Steve.
is Hawaiian shirt day. So, if you want to wear a Hawaiian shirt and jeans,
If you'd like
and a
to.
toque. So, where's our sunglasses? Yesterday was an all sunglass day. I thought we were all some
Just
unity
Thursdays.
there. Just Thursdays.
You didn't get that memo,
Thursday-
Dean? Thursday is sunglass day.
Yeah,
Friday is
sunglass
Hawaiian shirt
day.
day.
Friday's Hawaiian shirt day. All right, I got it. Got it. How we doing? Fort St. John?
Qu'Appelle Valley.
Port Saskatchewan? Is that
Port of Qu'Appelle Valley.
Port?
Fort
Ouvre
Huron.
La Fenetre, Ferme Laporte. Port. Whereabouts is it? This Port,
My
Ontario.
kid
What is it?
mentioned that it might be the place where the zombie apocalypse starts, but I believe
That
it's called
nice.
Port Huron. Yeah. Silver
Oh, it's-
Sticks, big tournament.
All those movies, the zombie apocalypse, they start in wonderful cities.
Port Huron.
I'm going to look on the map here.
It's across from Sarnia, fellas, the
that
home of
doesn't mean
Steven
much either.
Stamkos, or at least where
Right.
I believe Steven Stamkos played.
I
like
do too. I
the
think
show
he was
yesterday.
a Sting. Yeah, I think he was a stinger. We'll have
There's
to
a
ask
Port
Dreger.
Huron in Michigan. That's not the one I want. Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, you're in Michigan. Okay, I thought you were in Ontario. My bad.
Didn't you go into? You said you were crossing the border yesterday.
It's
didn't you?
right on
Yeah,
the
you
border.
go-
Look at this.
You go across
Holy.
the border into Canada, cut through Canada, and then in across the bridge again. The
Oh,
blue, the
yeah, that's just
blue
crazy.
water or the blue babe, the blue water bridge, I believe it is.
Blue balls.
Yes,
That's what it is.
Terrible.
Blue balls.
Oh, Blue Water Bridge. There it is. Look at that. Ooh,
Yeah. So did we
Open
get on the
24
ice
hours a day.
yesterday?
what a bridge.
We were horseshit yesterday.
Oh, jeez.
Coaching, bus legs. What are we blaming
The
it on?
coach have him
Could
prepared.
be. I'm starting to question the coach. I'm starting to wonder
Yeah.
if you're not able to
Hmm.
motivate the boys. What are you here for?
What are you
Yeah,
here
and I
for?
heard that he's handing out favoritism to the kids with ice time.
I do.
Got to have a big parent meeting about that.
Yeah.
Irking.
But I've been told many times that's all a coach has in the end
Yeah.
is how you dole out your ice time. So
Especially at that age.
yeah,
it was
for
definitely,
sure.
Can't
it was
take the money
definitely
back.
threatened. So yesterday, instead of threatening the children after the
Yeah.
game, I went.
Yeah.
I attacked the parents.
Good.
I let the room. I left. I didn't even bother with the room hardly. I went right at the parents.
Tell us.
Damn kids don't want to play. Have them tell you, and you just text me and don't show up, okay? Because I'm sick of trying to motivate these kids, and you guys are
Yeah.
just lollygaggers.
Mhm.
Lollygaggers. Yeah.
They lollygag in and out of the
Don't worry.
And
Georgie
lollygag.
says you're going to win both today, Rhett. Georgie's got the double down after.
Oh my God! Like, is he not?
that way?
George, I was
Is
going to
he-
have George stand in for me today. Do you mind?
Georgie, what's the parlay?
Poor
on the,
Georgie's boy's been sick this week. He tried to make a go of it last night. He got through 2 periods, and coach, I got to tap out here.
Well,
done.
tell
Twitter.
George to get his kid to wash his hands. Big disease bag.
Yeah, big
Gross.
guy.
Just
If
judging
George's
by
taking care of his kid, not watching the show, you'd
Maybe,
have a win
you
on
know,
your belt.
mixing an apple or something with the bags of chips and chocolate bars. George,
Come on, George.
parenting.
George, I'm sorry for verbally assaulting you and your brethren.
The brethren. So you're gonna be leaving us a little bit early today because you got another match. Who are you taking on? Who are
Today
we?
who do we have? We have the Brantford 99ers.
Okay.
Because
Yep.
Wayne, I think, is that where Wayne's
No,
from?
it's a big year. They celebrated the millennium.
Oh,
like
that's
everybody
right,
else.
the
Yeah.
millennium.
The ball dropped there.
And then tonight, at an oddly 9:30 p.m. start,
Oh, under the lights. Well, prime time
Chicago.
out west.
in the Chicago Mission. Oh, baby. What a
Chicago
match.
Mission.
Mission. The Mission. Been
Mission.
big timers.
Yeah, sounds awesome. Did you watch any of the hockey game, the Flames hockey game last night?
10 minutes.
Oh, good.
Mhm.
Did you?
Yep.
What did you see in those 10
There
minutes?
seemed to be
There
it was, you know what it wasn't?
Mm.
It was not Minnesota on a Tuesday.
It sure wasn't. They've played some crazy games in that building. If you think about the Kachuk
Yeah.
tweener to tie the game late, you think about overtimes. There's been some nutty stuff between Flames and Preds in that building.
Can't quit Flames. That's what they are.
The key can't quit.
Something like that.
KQF.
Quick.
Other
good.
goalies suck.
Whiff,
Flames.
yeah.
That's what we are. We're
Oh, if
good.
that's as bad as I've seen Saros. My goodness.
Oh, talk about not being able to play guilty. And Vladar was in the net. He was doing his best to F it up.
Yeah.
You know what? Didn't know
Wait,
Mark was a huge country music fan.
From Vladar, it was great, obviously. Had to have been great. 909? Wait, that's over league average. That's a phenomenal night at work.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
What were you saying, Rhett?
I didn't realize that Markstrom was a massive country music fan and requested a day off in Nashville from Huska.
He's got Johnny Cash on his mask. Didn't you see in that video he was on stage doing karaoke or whatever during
I totally
Stampede?
I totally overlooked that part. We're all, oh yeah, I got to play Markstrom, got to play Mark. Dummies. Come
Big
on.
booze bag. Yeah.
And you
Apparently
thought these
was
guys wouldn't go out, Dean.
Under
Come
the
on.
table at Aldean's. Just right liquored. Bent right out of shape. Didn't even no morning skate. His breath apparently.
He's lucky Keenan wasn't there to run into.
That's
him.
right. Yeah. He is lucky about that. So what did we make of Mr. Vladar? His first, been a while. He hadn't played in quite some time. His first start since that Tampa Bay game. If you go all the way back, I believe it was six games ago, plus a little bit of a Christmas break in there.
Like
all right.
The one goal is one of the worst you'll see all year in the NHL. I didn't think they tested him at all, and it seems to be one a game with him, doesn't it? You're like one a game, or you're like, how in the NHL does that go in?
Yeah, it's
I don't think it's even a good game to judge him on. Like he had that shitty goal, but the rest of it was.
But like it could have really killed them because all these early leads just immediately, they weren't lost, but it was like back to one goal game, like they're not. That felt like a game. It could have been over through 30 minutes, like if it was 6-0 or something. But he just kept letting these in, and I guess they're not all soft. But the third one is it's so bad. It is.
And you wonder,
Mike Smith special. All he was missing was MF and his D, and it would have been straight 41 in net.
Situationally, if they don't score with 0.2 seconds left to end the second, and that makes it a 1-goal game instead of a 2-goal game.
Totally.
If things are a little bit different. But fortunately, and to his credit, he made a big save right at the end of the second, and then down the ice they come, and Mangiapane to Hannafin, and bingo bango. I didn't.
Mange looks right back, doesn't he? On that
plus
one,
500.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Hannafin plus 500 yesterday?
Yeah,
hit it, boys. Big game hunting. He scored in all 3 games against the Preds. Season series over. We're going to write that down for next year, when they play the Preds again, or obviously the Western Conference Final. Yeah.
The Mangiapane jumps back in that line, and was it not the first game he had the 3 assist night?
New Year's Eve.
So
it's 5-6 points in 3 games. Yeah, you'll take that. It's awesome.
Whatever's ailing you, just put a little Backlund on it.
Put Backlund and his shitty goalie in the other net. You're bound for goodness.
Well, and he was right around. He didn't even get credit for a point on the second one, but it looked like he'd almost tipped it, but it wasn't. It was Coleman's shot that banked it. Like he was around it. It's just those 3 always look good together. I cannot tell you a game where that line has not played well. It's a staple. I even remember in the Dallas series, it was that line that had the big goal. It was like, okay, they might win this thing still.
Now you can't break him up again. Before that was kind of your utility knife. Well, just do whatever, take him off of there and put him with Backlund and everything will be fine. If they're going to produce offensively like they have been, it's a short, small body of work, but in a way it's a big body of work because we've seen it for years.
Yeah.
If they're going to be chipping in offensively plus being just reliable in all aspects, then you can't. Sorry, Huberdeau, you're just gonna have to put him. You got to put him somewhere else and take up space.
And look, he's looked better on the top line. Mangiapane's looked better on the Backlund line. Like we don't have to nitpick this thing. It's just working better this way. Leave it.
Has he looked good on the other line?
He was completely invisible on the Backlund line while Backlund and Coleman piled up points. And at least he's on the score sheet a little bit. So it's like there's no all-star back there, but it's like he went 18 games without a goal, basically playing with Backlund and Coleman, and it's like anyone else goes there, they look great.
Yeah.
Why put him there?
No, I'm not. I'm telling. That's what I started the point I was saying. They're going to play that well. You got to keep Mangiapane there. And it's just 6 goals, not a second chip in helper there, Hubie, or guess not.
Yeah, you had it on the
Even
show
with an
last night.
all-star, he can.
Was it a nothing burger or did it matter? And you're like, you called it a nothing burger. You switching gears on us today or what?
No, I don't know what you do with this guy in terms of if you do a daily show talking about the Calgary Flames. What do? You just pretend he doesn't exist?
You can't worry about that. Did he get a point last night thing,
Yeah.
where it's just it ruins every show you do ever.
It is a banana peel. You step out and slip, and you're like, "There's nowhere to go with this."
Yeah, no, like he's
There's nothing,
now a star.
nothing to
He's
talk
never going to
about
be a star
with this
again.
guy.
Sorry, move on.
It is the ultimate dead end road. You're just going to.
I think what we need actually is we need a doctor, chiropractic sponsor of some sort, and every day, every game, we have to check on Hubie's back. Is your back? Are you sure? Are you sure?
I see you working.
Your back is fine.
Yeah,
We're gonna go to Dr. Dizzle, the chiropractor.
spinal update.
Yeah,
Dr.
spinal
Dizzle?
update.
Is that what you
Yeah,
I
like
actually
Snoop
know what
Either that-
chiropractic is.
yeah. Either that, or we just need a sound effect or something. You know, we've got the shovel.
It's a
A
sad
sound
trombone.
effect that whenever we start talking about him, we realize we need to stop talking. We're going down a rabbit hole. Just kind of. Right. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Okay. So
It's the
moving on.
sad trombone, Dean. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Wah, 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 wah. And then it's
It's
okay. Yeah,
something.
we're done. We know we've had that. We rinse and repeat. We know that how that one ends. Next topic.
Yeah. Zary, you had him on
Awesome.
your Betway bets yesterday. He comes
that
through
too.
as well.
First goal. Bang. Was it less
And out
than
of
5
all
minutes
the
in?
I'm sorry. You guys are full of positivity, and I'm thinking back. I'm like, yes, I'm happy for. It was lovely that he scored. Does your goalie not? If you're the other team, does your goalie not have to have that save?
I was just
Oh,
going to say, out of all the chances that were in that sequence, that
Yeah.
seemed like the
Yeah.
least threatening.
That's true, because it was like a goalmouth pileup for what felt like 30 seconds there. And
Yeah.
how is this
And
not
then it's
going in?
a shot along the ice
Yeah.
that somehow gets under his pad. But I didn't think Nashville was very good.
Rasmus Anderson back there, whatever was ailing him or whatever strategy had him not on the power play for a month, that's done. Maybe he had a bad paw. Maybe it was, we're trying to, showcase Hanifin, but at some point results matter. And with Hanifin, Shergovich, and Zary out there, it just looks a lot better. It's not a, wow, what a good power play, but it doesn't look like the league's worst, which is what it looked like before you had this personnel.
Why do you hate Connor Zary, Rhett? What are you saying? That
I've got a Connor Zary sweater on order, special order.
you do, yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't hate him at all. I think he's my favorite
Gotcha.
player.
How could you not love the kid? I'm sorry. Like this has been something unforeseen and incredibly special that we've watched on a team where we're not used to this sort of stuff happening.
Little something I want to do here, because I know we're going to lose you. We got Darren Dreger coming up, but I want to do a little something here. We're going to do a little I dig it for Finning. Saw something this morning. And we're gonna slide it right in there. I'm curious to get your thoughts. A little bit of I dig it for Finning Canada, Finning Cat, your local cat equipment dealer, built to handle work in Western Canada for heavy equipment for the job site. Visit the cat rental store. Chat with knowledgeable staff. Get what it is you need when you need it. Buy parts, rent tools, power solutions. Visit finning.com for a location near you. Now, this is kind of this day in history. 2002, as a member of the San Jose Sharks, Mika Kiprasov posted his first ever NHL shutout. Take a look at this. Look at this kid. It's weird.
It does look odd, doesn't it?
It looks weird. You can see the body style. I mean, the Vic stick is a little different, and it's not the greatest photo, but it's got the Kipper mask on there.
There's a lot of gray in that jersey too. I don't recall the Sharks looking that gray and weird. That's got like AHL vibes.
Yeah.
Who do you that isn't like the Worcester Sharks or something like that?
Who do you think of when you see that vintage of Shark jersey?
Toskala.
Makes me think of Owen Nolan and Marlowe and Ricci. Anyway, so a rare look at Kipper there. Now I also have the game sheet. I'm not sure if we have that there.
Let's take a peek.
So there it is, 6-0. Kiprasov makes the taking a look there with 28 saves or whatever it is. But if you look at the game sheet there's your scores.
Oh yeah,
Marlowe and Sundstrom. But take a look at the nonsense here, Retro. We got a Jason Weimer fight. He went with Matt Bradley. of the San Jose Sharks. Paul Loss, your buddy, a misconduct in the third at 16:09. He got into it with Mark Smith, soon to be a Flame. Brian Marchment getting involved. Owen Nolan, Brad Ferentz, Peter Worrell.
Oh, huge man.
There were some tough customers out there. Paul Loss, as we've talked about over the years, one of the sneakiest tough guys that that would swing around the league. That was a kind of a sneaky, tough Florida team then.
Florida had tough teams. Was
Four
Worrell in
fights.
there at the time? Yeah, Big Pete was in there.
Yeah,
Who's
Worrell
the
got
Ward? What's Ward's first name?
Ed Ward.
No, this is Lance.
There's an L.
Lance
That would be
Ward?
Lance
Oh,
Ward.
yeah, Big
Okay.
Lance. Yeah.
Ed went to the All-Star
Yeah,
the Flames.
you
for a
know
shot.
who
That's
was
crazy?
like Paul Loss was very tough, and he fought lots, like 39 times a year.
Oh,
But somebody you don't like. Look who he fought.
Mhm.
Thornton. Scott Thornton was tough as nails. Big, strong, and could fight with anyone. Started in Montreal, I think. There were so many guys from that era that you forget that were tough. That it's like, who's this Thornton guy? Like, whatever, right? Like, you maybe have heard of Laus and maybe not because he was in Florida for his whole career. But like, there were so many guys that in today's game would be the toughest by a country mile, and they weren't even considered top of the table.
yeah. A lot of these guys could hang with the Reeves of the world today, right?
Oh,
yeah.
tune him in.
And they were considered like mid to heavies, not full heavies.
Yes.
So this was 03, you said, Dean? Is that right? 02, 03?
02. Yeah, in the 01-02 season.
102. Okay, so that's a while before the Flames had him. They had him at the 03-04 season. Because rule changes after the lockout, after you guys go to the final, Rhett, clutching and holding goes away, and we start to see these types of guys not disappear, but the writing's on the wall. And then by the time you get to that second lockout, like 12-13, a decade later, then it's just like there's lots of fourth lines with Paul Byron's on them, not 6'6" guys.
And Detroit Star, they were the kind of lead pack on that, where they tried to, they just decided to go without the tough guy on their fourth line and play with four lines of energy and skill. Yeah.
Easy when you have four lines of skill. Other teams couldn't do it as well as Detroit.
You need to have it. First of all, you need to have it. You
Thanks a lot,
have it.
Detroit.
It's a start.
It's back though. There's the fighting's up a bunch. Like we're seeing Stars fight all the time.
But that's fine. I like it.
Yeah. I do too. And it's real
go
fight.
ahead
It's
and
not
fight.
staged. It's not off the whistle. Yeah.
I think it's more 70s style fighting where guys are mad at each other. I'm going to have a go at you, you bastard.
Like DeBrincat fought Yossi the other day, and you're like, that type of fight doesn't happen. Like I don't know.
That's not premeditated.
No. And it was just a scrum in front of the net, and it's a physical sport. That's where fighting came from. It wasn't like we need to go find a guy to do the fighting for us. It was just the sport gets hot, and sometimes you need a vent for that. And Yossi didn't know what he was doing. He grabs the logo and puts his head down, and it's just like free uppies. But the Brinket seemed okay, and it's like those are two stars. Those are all stars that are fighting.
Go watch 70s fights. They were ugly, and
yeah.
I don't want guys to have to go out drinking and trying to numb themselves because they know the next day there's a chance they're going to get dummied at center ice and they got to fight. The fans have paid to watch the fight and they got to show up and do it. I don't want the staged. I don't want that. But if guys are in there battling and they're like, you son of a, I'm gonna let's go. Right?
Yeah.
Like, and no hard feelings afterwards, even like have a little bit of a go, blow it out.
It's a great point, Rhett. Like to think about if you had to fight Derek Bugard the next day, now we're into some mental health stuff because that was one of the spookiest humans alive. But if you're just playing hockey and it's time to fight and you fight, there's nothing to sweat about the night before. You might have to do it once or twice a year.
That is I Dig It for Finning Cat, Finning Canada, your local dealer for cat equipment built to handle work in Western Canada. Visit finning.com for a location near you. Finning Cat is a proud partner of the NHL. Sorry to jump in, but when you got somebody like Darren Dreger, you talk about a guy that likes to throw the meat hooks. Brought to you by TELUS on the Insider Hotline. Enter to win one of 6 monthly prizes, including tickets to Calgary hockey games and awesome tech like AirPods, Apple Watches, and more. No purchase necessary. All you have to do is fill out a quick survey to enter for your chance to win. Go online, TELUS.com/Flames contest. One of our great insiders, TSN insider, Darren Dreger, joins us. no stranger to chucking them outside Houston's or
Is that what it was?
Unwinder back in the day? Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's what it was. The Unwinders. You're telling that, and you're, of course, tongue-in-cheek joking about me being a tough guy. I'm thinking about my days in Brandon, and I'll tell a quick story. My niece turned 18. So in Manitoba, you can get in the bars at 18 years of age. So, of course, my wife and I at the time, we got to take Michelle to the Unwinder, I guess it was. We're standing in the coat check line. There's a coat check line. And this guy, and my niece, good-looking lady, this guy sneaks up behind and sticks his hand down the back of her pants.
Oh.
And instantly, I see red. And I just literally give him, and I can see the bouncer standing there, sees what's going on, right? Remember, Dean, you might remember the Pink brothers. They were football players back in Brandon, just enormous. And I give this guy one right to the bridge of the nose from my elbow, and he drops like a rock. And this is how old school it was back in that day. Again, we're being nostalgic here. I heard you guys talk about the fighting. So they pick this stooge up, take him back, and then I get the other brother comes up to me like 30 seconds after they've dragged his carcass out of the bar, and they're like, "We got him in the back alley if you want to come back there and finish this."
Yeah, not you have to leave too. We're gonna have to ask you to leave. No. Not only can you stay, but if you'd like to get some more, he's out here.
Yeah, we got him for you.
Boots to him. Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
But you were
That's
talking
not a
about
good
fighting.
move, though.
No,
That's gross misconduct, that stuff right there.
Yeah.
That's no
That's
good.
not good.
I don't know what the morning is, but I listen to you guys talk about the fighting. And this morning I'm scrolling through Instagram, and a Darius Kasparaitis hit on Eric Lindros comes up. And I think it was like 98. Kasparaitis is with Pittsburgh. Eric, of course, was with the Flyers. And, Eric is skating towards the offensive blue line, and he loses the puck in his skates. I don't know if you remember this hit. So instantly, like an 8-year-old playing minor hockey, he does one of these, looks down to find the puck, and Kasparaitis hits him square, like shoulder right in the middle of the face. And whoever the announcers were, I don't know if it was Billy Clement or who was, they're like, "That is as clean and as fantastic a hockey hit as you're going to see." And I'm like, that happened in today's NHL, you get a 25-game suspension.
Yeah.
It's just brutal.
And what's awful for Eric is there was a long list of those. Scott Stevens caught him that way. How many times? God, you think about his career, and I know he's into the Hall of Fame, and whenever he went in, everybody had the debate. There is a guy, truly, if he could have remained healthy, what kind of a career? Because one Hart Trophy? Did he win a scoring title back? I'm trying to remember, but it's just so many injuries piled.
The greatest power forward in a way in his prime, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think of like Cam Neely too, because he scored like I think 50 and 50 coming off injury one year, another Samuelson injury, but like. He was almost too big, wasn't he, Dregs? Because that's why he'd end up putting his head down. Like, it's just like, dude, like you go through junior, he didn't have to keep his head up.
100% right. Just an enormous human being, and still plays to this day. Like I've got colleagues who skate with him. I think he skates like twice a week. It's like a pickup game, and they say he can just flat out roll out there. Now, again, it's older players, but you're talking about former pros, former NHL players who are battling in this skate, and Eric is just something else, man. That was again, it's those video reminders come up on occasion, and of course the game is cleaner, it's better, it's faster, it's more exciting, entertaining from an offensive perspective. But Ryan, I heard you talk. There's nothing wrong with a little dust up every once in a while, as long as it is spontaneous combustion. It's like stage fighting. Remember, we used to talk about stage fighting a lot, because there was a need for it. You'd see guys, buckle up 10 seconds into the hockey game, and away they go. I mean, when's the last time we saw a fight like that? I mean,
not many. Yeah, and fights are up too.
Yeah, no, they definitely are.
Back-to-back nights for Colorado with Nate Dogg getting the overtime winner. And I looked this morning, and there they are. They've passed Vegas, and they've passed Vancouver. And we talk a little bit about it here just because with Elias Lindholm, and you wonder, is Colorado maybe one of those teams that could be looking for him as depth down the middle? I'm not sure about their goaltending. We had Noodles on the other day. He's I'm not sure about their goaltending, but there they are. It's not that long ago that they won. They still seem poised to be right there. I wonder how many eyes are going to be on the Avalanche here in the next month or two.
Yeah, as long as they can stay healthy, right? And you can say that about any team, but when we say that about Colorado, you're looking at the principal pieces. You know, Cale Makar seems to be over his issues, but he's such an influential part of the success of that team. Nate McKinnon, clearly. I do agree. I think that they're going to add up front. The Lindholm rumors have been out there for a while, linking, you know, Calgary to Colorado, Calgary to Boston. I'm sure that the Carolina Hurricanes have checked in to see what's going on there. But if you're Craig Conroy, I mean, let's just rewind and repeat here. You know, what's the rush? You know, why would you be in any hurry? Not saying you don't trade those pieces. I know we had this debate, you know, prior to the holidays about whether you do or you don't, depending on where the Flames are in the standings. But I think that a team like Colorado, they're going to add at the middle of the ice. They're going to find something. If the cost is too high with Calgary and Lindholm, then maybe they look elsewhere. But I think that they're poised. They feel like they've got another crack at it. No question.
Saw Carolina beat the Rangers 6-1 the other night. I was just kind of looking at the math. They have one regulation loss in their last 11 games. Kochetkov's been good. He's been in for 7 of their last 8, 4-1-2 in that stretch, and they've now gone on a nice little tear. Brindamore's got them rolling. I'm not sure how many people really doubted them, but there's another team. They've been in that win now mode for years now.
Yeah, and Donnie Waddell, the general manager there, along with the owner, Tom Dunn, he's kind of like an owner / general manager because, you know, he's constantly negotiating contract extensions with the player agent. He's calling managers, he's calling other teams about potential trade fits and all of that. They'd like to add a piece up front or pieces up front. They feel like, you know, they've got a good looking lineup. I still want to question their goaltending. You know, you talk about Kochetkov, and of late he's been good. Interesting experiment where Anthony Murata went down to the American League and he's back up. So maybe they've kind of solidified a tandem that's good enough to compete and potentially good enough to win. I don't know that those goaltenders in Carolina are capable of stealing games on a consistent basis, but there wouldn't be many NHL goaltenders that are capable of that. I'm interested in the Carolina Hurricanes for a lot of different reasons. They're a really well-built team. And if the owner can stay out of things there, then I think that Donnie Waddell will add, and he'll make this team as good a Stanley Cup contender as there might be. And that's saying a lot when you look at some of these clubs.
They're there every year. If you like, there's trips to the Final Four. They're rated in to win the division most years. Like it just feels like one of these years they're going to be the hot team, and that's kind of what you need in that tournament. Just be hot, get 930 goaltending for a month, and there you are.
And remember, as Brindamore told us, they didn't get swept last year. That wasn't a sweep.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I think it went 4 games, but that
somehow
that wasn't a sweep. So is our old buddy Brad Treliving getting the wallet out again? Is this going to get done with Nylander?
Yeah, and it was inevitable, right? He knew that coming in. You know, Willie Nylander is such an integral part of the success and future of the Toronto Maple Leafs. This guy is conditioned to play in a Canadian market. He really is. He's like David Pastrnak 2.0. And I mean, they're good buddies dating back to, you know, their time spent together. He's Czech, but he played his hockey in Sweden. They're just wired differently. Their personalities are such that the noise can get as loud as it needs to get. They're just going to go out and play the game the way they need to play the game. The number for William Nylander, they've settled on the term. It's going to be 8 years. So the upside for the Toronto Maple Leafs is when you look at the 8 years moving forward, they're buying William Nylander's best years. So he's saying, all right, I can appreciate that. I'm not going to leave much money on the table, but he knows that he gets that 8th year from Toronto. I believe it's going to be between 11.25 and 11.5 per year. That sounds like a lot, but that's the type of player he is. And on the open market, even though it'd be a 7-year contract if he went to free agency, I think that he'd get a bigger number. I really do, just because of how influential he is.
Well, we talked about it yesterday. Like, I think he likes Toronto, and there's an appreciation for his ability to play in that market where other guys, they feel the pressure. He seems like Teflon. It's water off a duck. So that's crucial. But the two things I think about is, okay, where does this put Mitch Marner, who I believe is up next year? And
Yes.
I guess there's also one more year of Tavares before that rolls off. Like, big picture, this is not like, okay, work's done for Brad. It's still like, man, like there's another massive negotiation coming next year as well.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, his fellow general managers look at his situation now and believe that he needs to go all in to try and win this season. And that's saying a lot, because Matthews' contract extension kicks in next year. Nylander's contract, of course, will get underway in terms of that extension. Well, there goes the $4.5 million in cap uptick, right?
Yeah.
So that 87.7 salary cap next year will be eaten up by William Nylander. And then you're right, you look at Tavares, and then you're looking at Mitch Marner right after that, and you've got other elements that are going to get some attention as their contracts expire or get to that place. So the general feeling across the league is Toronto's going to be in a bigger vice than they've ever been next year, with core players in the crosshairs. Fellas, there's been speculation about the future of Mitch Marner in Toronto, and that's not new, and he's used to hearing it. I'm sure he gets tired and annoyed by it, but it's going to be real. I mean, he's a point producing player. He's a very, very good winger. He truly is, but he's also that beacon. He's a magnet for all the negativity that swirls when this team isn't doing well. He's one of those players that takes it right between the eyes every single time. He's turning the puck over here, he's not making the right play there, that sort of thing. So I can envision a time in the not too distant future where Tree doesn't have much of a choice. He's going to have to consider moving one of those bigger pieces, or somebody like John Tavares, who comes off his contract, is going to have to settle for a year by year and maybe $1 million. Well, I don't know. Does he want to stay in Toronto that badly, where he's going to go from $11 million to $1 million per year? Mm-hmm. I don't know, but that's the challenge that Brad Treliving and the Leafs face.
I don't want to get too Leafsy, but did you feel like this was sort of a referendum on who the Leafs wanted? Because Matthews is absolutely you build around him. But if you had to pick one between Marner and Nylander, maybe you keep both, but do you think they'd prefer Nylander given the Teflon Nylander and the hometown, chaos surrounding Marner, or is that oversimplifying it?
A little bit, and it's a tough question. Yeah, they'd like to keep both, but that's probably not going to be the reality. Without playing with entry-level players, in your bottom six, and the help that you so desperately need defensively and potentially in goal, you're going to have to lower your standards from a financial perspective. Nylander is lower maintenance, and I feel like they think that there could be more upside to him. The experimentation of Matthew Nyes on that top line with Austin Matthews is an interesting one. He can play up there all day long. And again, his career is relatively fresh. I think he's going to be a real good player and could morph into a hybrid version of the power forward that we talked about. But that's what Toronto needs to even get into the conversation of making that choice between Nylander and Marner. They're going to extend Nylander. He is a priority. And then after that, I think they'll entertain whatever discussions they have to, looking forward to next year and beyond.
It's an exciting time for fans because they keep an eye on their favorite team. What are they going to do? Are they going to trade? Yeah. If you're trading in, who's coming? If you're trading out, who's going? And you feel like the Oilers have to do something just because of what's happening there with McDavid. They got to do this. But if you were trying to figure out what your team is, if you're Kenny Holland or the Brass there, we lose a bunch of games in a row, then we win a bunch in a row, and then we lose a bunch in a row, and now they've won a bunch. It's so streaky. That's a hard team to get a read on. There's 2 or 3 guys there, and what they're going to give you. But the rest sure seems like a muddy picture when you're going all in with draft picks and money and all of it.
Well, look, I mean, the way this team is playing now, and not just McDavid and Draisaitl, I mean, they always get the accolades, but when you're putting up 5-point nights like McDavid did earlier this week, I mean, you're deserving of the attention. But I look at the lower end guys. I'm looking at Ryan McLeod. He's playing really solid right now. Warren Fogel's a big guy. When he gets rolling, he's a nice piece, and he's producing. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, I don't think that he took enough heat, to be fair, when things were going poorly for the Oilers. And now he's playing well, and Hyman is playing well, and Stuart Skinner is stopping the puck like he needs to, and defensively they seem like they're more in tune. So if all of what I've just said can continue to roll just the way it is, of course you have to elevate your game when the playoffs roll around. That's pretty obvious. But if they can just maintain what they have right now, then the cup or bust motto that they went into the season with it's legit. It's real. I still think they're the best team in the Western Conference, and that's saying a lot when you look at what Vancouver is doing. And it's easy to say when I look at Vegas because the Golden Knights aren't playing that well. But Kenny Holland can't afford to do much in Edmonton. He'd sure like to see Connor Brown, get going a little bit offensively. But beyond that, I think what you see is what you get, and that's what you need in Edmonton.
What's curious, they might have to start on the road, and I don't know if that necessarily matters or not, but it's going to be tough to reel in Vancouver, Vegas, LA. Those three teams are good. Really you probably have to play 700 hockey if you're going to get a top 3 spot, not a wild card.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. And the Los Angeles Kings, to me, I don't know why I sound surprised when I talk about the LA Kings. And I guess to answer my own question, I didn't have the faith in Cam Talbot that Rob Blake and the LA Kings had. I think when we started this segment, you had to put a big question mark beside their goaltending. And normally with Cam Talbot, it's not the ability, it's the ability to stay healthy. And I guess you could say that about just about every player in the National Hockey League, but he's been a godsend to the Los Angeles Kings, and that's taking the heat off their defensive game. Quentin Byfield, boys, he's the real deal. And I think that they have done a masterful job in allowing those young players like Byfield to develop in the way that he has, and now he saddles up beside Anze Kopitar. What they need is Pierre-Luc Dubois to find a way to get going again. Holy smokes. Like Kevin Cheveldayoff should win General Manager of the Year for pulling off that heist, because you look at what Velarde and Iafallo are doing, and Kapari isn't that far away from getting healthy. When they get, not to shift gears here, but when they get healthy in Winnipeg, and by healthy, I mean when Kyle Connor comes back from the knee issue, the expectation is that he'll play with Gabe Velarde. And we don't even, would they play like 3 or 4 games together? One guy was hurt, then the other guy gets hurt. I mean, Winnipeg could be an absolute wagon in the West as well.
Lots to be done. There's lots of games to be played, and Pittsburgh is within striking distance. But whenever you start looking at teams that are below that cut line, and then who have they got for impending UFAs, who could maybe be traded out? Jake Gensel's name is on that list.
I don't get it, man.
Such a good Penguin. I can't imagine. God, you'd want to keep that guy. Is that a realistic name that should be in the rumor mill? Because it is. I just wonder if Pittsburgh knows what they have there.
Well, look, I mean, there are good reporters in Pittsburgh, experienced people there. I just feel like, and in fairness, I haven't talked to Kyle Dubas about it specifically, mostly because when I first saw the name, I just did the eye roll, because I can hear the words coming out of Crosby's mouth over my dead body. Honestly, because Jake Gensel has been such a crucial piece of the success. And it's almost like, well, not almost. I mean, he was brought into NHL stardom under the wing of the captain of the Pittsburgh Penguins. So I guess, what are you getting back if you're moving Jake Gensel? And he seems like such a big part of the future. At some point, Dubas is going to have to transition this team, right? I mean, they're doing incredibly well right now, but they're not that far removed from being underachieving as well. I mean, that game last night was just flat out entertaining. And then fittingly, it ends with Crosby getting the game-winning goal, the 6th goal for the Penguins, and beating the Boston Bruins 6-5 from Erik Karlsson. So talk about 2 principal pieces. I mean, Sid's on pace for 50 goals, guys.
Jeez.
I mean, it's crazy what he's doing. So I don't know. I can't see it. I can't see Kyle Dubas and the Pittsburgh Penguins throwing a piece like Gensel into the equation. I just can't.
Well, and it's totally a team in transition. They don't look like a cup contender, but sure, they could get in, I guess. And like Gensel turns 30 before the season starts next year. Like, are you really gonna get him 5 years? Like, it's kind of like what we're watching with the Washingtons. Like, are you gonna keep the old guys together and just watch this thing peter out, or do you make like serious change? And
it's hard.
It's tough with Sid there, right? You feel like you owe it to him to keep the band together.
Yeah, Malkin and Letang on top of that. But I'm reminded of how much heat the Chicago Blackhawks took when they traded Alex DeBrincat, right, to the Ottawa Senators, I guess.
Yeah.
And Patty Kane is sitting there going, "Pardon?"
Yeah.
You're trying to retool, reset, and this is a type of player who's in an age dynamic who should soften the blow of the transition and all those things. Now, I mean, it's clearly worked out for the Chicago Blackhawks, winning the draft lottery, and Connor Bedard putting on a show basically every time he pulls on that Blackhawks uniform. But if you had a do-over, I think the Chicago Blackhawks would do things differently back then.
Just to wrap things, I guess we'll come back here to Calgary. For a while, it felt like all the decision-making from ownership on down was going to be an easy one. It looked like the Flames were just going to be near the bottom, picking high, unrestricted free agents, that whole thing. They've now won 6 of 8. They've got points in 8 of 10, and suddenly they're maybe not as close to the bottom as they are to a playoff spot. You can you wonder what the owner's thinking. You wonder what everybody's thinking in there. It's great for the fans. They've been playing exciting and entertaining hockey. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah.
But you talk about clouding the waters a little bit as to what you really have here. It's going to become, if Conroy wants to be a seller, I'm sure he can be, but he might have some people to convince.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think we're 3 weeks away from the rubber hitting the road and those tough, hard conversations and potentially decisions being made not only in Calgary, but around the National Hockey League. I mean, for the buyers out there, they like the idea that those pieces are still there and in theory in play. And we know what we're talking about. It's Hanifin. It's Lindholm, maybe you can throw some other pieces in there. I still like the idea, the notion of Nazem Kadri potentially being in play if you're biting down and you're trading all the pending unrestricted free agents. Maybe Kadri's more complicated and you look at that in the offseason. But the buyers like the idea because most of them will be contending teams, that another 3 weeks of chewing down the money on the contracts, it actually matters. It really does. But it also allows Conroy and ownership to take a real hard look at where they're at. But we know this. You make the playoffs, you're talking about millions of dollars at stake here in playoff revenue. But you also have to look at your future. And, the idea of an own rental in holding one of those 3 pieces, 2 of those 3 pieces, all of them, I don't think that makes a lot of sense either.
See, we say it all the time. We could let us do it. If they just let us do it, because we all see it the same way. We're all right. Just ask us. We'll tell you. We're all right about it. So it's not that hard. It's not that hard.
No.
Have anything, I guess, before we let you go, you're obviously monitoring things across the league, whether it be teams or personnel. Yeah. What do you see it as we head into the weekend?
No, nothing that I would say is a front burner issue in terms of trade speculation. We nailed it earlier in the segment. We're looking at Willie Nylander and the Maple Leafs, wondering if that's going to happen imminently, as in days. Then I shift over to the Vancouver Canucks, and I got to think that the Canucks are going to put a little bit of heat on Pettersson there, right? I mean, they've had ongoing dialogue, conversation, but Vancouver wants to get this guy locked up. So if that doesn't happen this month, then I expect that that'll get going early in February.
Appreciate you. Have a fine weekend.
Yeah, guys, you too.
You're the best. You betcha. See you, Dregs.
Take
there
care.
He is. One of our great insiders, TSN hockey insider Darren Dreger, joining us on the Insider Hotline, a presentation of TELUS, where making the world a little friendlier. Why wouldn't you? 2022 alone, TELUS, their team members and retirees volunteered 1.4 million hours, gave $125 million back to local communities, the most giving company in the world. Let's make the future friendly with TELUS. Learn more at TELUS.com/givesback. Got my little TELUS fiber, my little modem thing right here, just chugging away. Fiber.
Keeping you looking good, Dean. That
looks like, Rhett could have used some fiber in his diet and in his Wi-Fi or his internet.
I don't know what we're really expecting when he's going from a hotel room in Port Huron, but sure.
He mentioned it yesterday. He seems to be adapting well to the 3-day work week.
I think we just got to start bringing Rosie in on these days and just say, Rhett, like, take a day. That's fine.
Or just bring in Rosie.
Yeah, that's sure. Hey, yeah. I mean,
He lives here, you know.
ish. Yeah. Well,
Well, it's more here than Buffalo.
100%.
More here than Buffalo. I wonder what that number would be for Pettersson. Big, right? It's going to be.
Well, I mean, if Nylander's 11 and a quarter, why wouldn't Pettersson be there or more? Pettersson's an absolute center, and I know Willie kind of slides between the wing and center. But he's everything for that team, right? Like he's very, very important. He's an R, he's not a U. This isn't the exact same as Nylander, so he doesn't have all the leverage. But I mean, really, what's going to happen there? Like he says a number, are they going to say no? Like, you know, walking like he's going to get what he wants. He's their most important player, I think.
I'm impressed by Nylander, like a lot of kids when they come in, and especially there where you had Matthews and Marner and guys of world-class hockey players, all very different. One's the American from Phoenix, one's from the Ontario, living right into the hotbed. The other guy's his dad was an NHLer. He's kind of been around it. Very different guys. I don't know if I would have picked Nylander to be the most kind of able to have it roll off his back.
And I think Matthews is good at it too, but you can't know until you see it, right?
Nylander seemed like maybe he'd be the guy that I'm not sure if he's going to be able to, but he seems very comfortable in all of it.
Well, we played the clip a month ago, like Don Cherry ripping the Leafs for not taking Nick Ritchie when they selected Nylander. Like, it's pretty funny, but like the skill's been undeniable from the get-go. Is he going to be as physical enough to put up with the punishment? Like his old man really wasn't. Michael was a very skilled player, but we always used to see Polodini act in the playoffs, so you didn't see him. And that's the opposite of what Willie's done. And, you know, I don't know. There's many guys you put on a list forwards ahead of him if you had to start right now today to build a team around. Like he's probably a top 15 forward in the NHL. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, at start, you couldn't have asked for anything more if you're Willie Nylander. Let's go about 15 games to get a point every night. And I thought he
was better than Marner last year. I think he's been better than him this year. If they don't have room for both, or if they're like, hey, if you're extending William, you got to have a plan for Mitch, right? Well, you can get a haul for Mitch Marner. You know that. Could you solve your defensive and goaltending issues if you traded him? Could you get by building around Nyes, Nylander, Matthews, and others up front? It's got to be something you think about at least. Because when you're inking him to 8, he's not going anywhere. It's not like Simon trade him. No, like if this gets done, that tells you they're committing long-term to him. And he's probably going to get no move protection because it's an 8-year deal and he's a UFA this summer. He's got that leverage. Like if you had to pick, I do believe you're picking Willie in a weird way.
Yeah, I kind of do too. And Nylander's made that an easier decision for them. It may not be the right one in the end because I still think Marner's a hell of a hockey player. And if they do trade him, he can go somewhere else and he's probably going to put up a ton of points and play with some very good players and all of that. Yeah. But you can't worry about that once you make the deal. You can only worry about, okay, Nylander, what are you doing? And whatever we get in return in the trade, have you helped us become more well-rounded and better? But for a while, it seemed like, how could you give just world-class skill? How can you trade that away? Well, if Nylander wants to be the Nylander he's been the last year and a half, makes it all a little easier.
It's good problems to have, by the way. They're not easy for GMs, but which of these 4 star forwards do we keep?
Ryan, how hungover are you going to be a week from today? From right now?
Ooh, I think my head's going to feel like a church bell. It's going to be like, you know, the scene from The Hangover? Where it's is it called The Hangover with the wedding or the bachelor party? You know what I'm talking about. The Tiger, Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
He wakes up and the glasses are off and it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
That'll be me.
You'll be missing a tooth. You'll have a face tattoo, all that sort of thing.
Yeah. That's the expectation going in.
Now, it doesn't have to be like that for everybody. We don't condone that behavior, in fact.
Make your own choices, sleep in your own bed.
What this is about. But in a week from today, we are going to be in Phoenix. We will just be, we'll be reminiscing and having coffee and talking about that great Coyotes Flames game from the night before. Because yes, we are off on our barn burner vacation, January 11th to 13th. Now, here is the rub. How about this? We have a chance for you to come with us for free. Courtesy of
Yeah.
our friends over at Oodle Noodle. They have donated and I want a clarification on it because I'm stupid.
Yeah,
Right?
okay.
I'm so stupid. Boys, am I reading this right? 2 pairs of tickets. That's right. 2 chances to win a pair of tickets to come with us down to down to Arizona in a week's time. That's flights, that's hotel, that's airport transport, that's tickets to the Mullet Arena to watch the Flames and Coyotes. You gotta be old enough. You gotta have a valid passport, and you got to be able to go. We realize this is a tight turn, but if you can't go, then don't enter. But if you can go, if you've got that kind of flexibility, and you're like, babe,
Let's do
I
this.
won this. You can't believe it. Oh, you want a trip to Phoenix? When do we leave? Well, I leave on the 11th. And my buddy's coming with me. I hope you don't mind. You'll have to work that out amongst yourselves, but here's how it's going to work for you. You need to go to social media. Essentially, we're talking Instagram mostly on this, Jack. Is this an Instagram type of a deal? Or are we doing this on the X?
I
Where are we going?
believe it's Instagram.
It's on the gram, baby.
It's on the gram. You need to go to the Flames Nation Instagram account. You got to like this post. You'll find it on there. The Barn Burner Vacation with Oodle Noodle. You need to be following Oodle Noodle and Flames Nation, and then tag who you would be bringing with you on this trip if you win. Every time you comment, that's an entry.
Ooh.
2 chances to win. How about that? 2 chances. And we are going to end this baby on Sunday at 5 p.m. We'll give you just enough time to find your carry-on bag and your valid passport and some clean undies and your Flames jersey, and then be ready to roll on Thursday. Awesome. Thank you, Oodle Noodle.
Like, how good? Like, we give away stuff on the show. We've had contests. If we auctioned this, you'd get.
Yeah,
we're talking like $2,000 to $3,000. This is a freebie. This is a giveaway. Literally,
awesome.
Go click some buttons, and you got a chance to do this.
Yeah, we're very appreciative, Oodle Noodle, and I said this yesterday. It's going to sound like, but it's one of my favorite places. I love Oodle Noodle. They're getting more and more Calgary locations. I think there's like a dozen in Edmonton. There's one in Airdrie. There's now 2 in Calgary. Beacon Hill, is that what we said yesterday? And then the other one is on 17th Avenue, 1244 17th Ave Southwest. Just Google it, put it in your maps, and go have yourself some Oodle Noodle. Have some Kung Pao. Have a little bit of the hot box, the Mongolian noodles. You like the thick noodles? Go with the thick noodles. You like the thin noodles? Go with the thin noodles. Delicious. Oodle Noodle. Getting it done for us and for you. So get in, get entered, and good luck, because by Sunday at 5, we could be contacting you to get you all set to go to Phoenix, Arizona. Let's go.
Rhett says he's got 5 minutes for us. Do we want him in, or should we tell him to bleep off?
It doesn't matter. I mean,
you don't like making decisions, hey?
Well, what's he going to give us? What do we?
You want it or you don't?
By the time he gets in, no, he's got a hockey game. So
tell him to FO then. That's fine.
Well, not necessarily FO, but just I guess beat it. I don't know. We could, because I want to do the
Monday.
I want to do the Pinder Report.
Good, let's do it. Let's hammer it.
I want to do the Pinder Report. It's a presentation of Village Honda. Oh, Village Honda in the Northwest Auto Mall.
I was up there yesterday. They got that
little
scooter thing. Man, it looks unreal. The yellow sports car thing. They got the ropes around it. Don't touch it. Put your fingers on it. Things are humming up there. Best coffee in the league too. You know that.
Are you behind the wheel of a
I've been looking at some of the pre-owned, Dean, because there's like almost 100 units on site, and with access to over 400 in the dealer group, like whatever I'm looking for, they're going to have it. Any budget, any make, any model, like that works for me.
It's true.
Yeah.
Because you are picky, and chances are there's going to be something on the lot, but if not,
don't worry.
Come on in, have a seat. Let's take a look at across the Wood Auto Group. Let's take a look across the auto. Maybe this dealer has one. Maybe this dealer has something, because you are a picky pants.
I'm not that picky, but
especially with your pre-owned vehicles.
Yeah.
Village Honda, Northwest Auto Mall, your dealership for life, and you can see why. They present the Pinder Report.
Fellas, we start, and fellas, you, I guess. Jackie can
That's
be
right.
one of the fellas. Fellas, we had Afterburner last night. Dean, how was it with
Fellas.
Cammie? How are things going? I tuned in for a bit, was in the comments. You didn't like it, but she's looking much more comfortable in the burner. She's doing good.
Well, yeah, because she's in there by herself. She doesn't have you creeping her out. I'm at home. She's in
That's
the
a great
studio.
point. I never
Little
thought
peace
about
and
that.
quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't have to worry about putting up some one of those, like, remember COVID? We had those
that's right.
plexiglass
Sneeze
sheets,
guard.
dividers. Yeah.
Yeah.
None of that there. Let's
Some
go see what you guys.
disease barrier between the two.
That's right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Last night you talked about what? Let's see.
That's a heck of a road game. And it wasn't a road game in which let's really bore the fans to sleep. There were chances at both ends, so maybe it's not a good road game, but they came in and again showed a lot of zip, a lot of emotion. They were on the puck. They played pretty well. This is it's weird getting used to this, Cammie.
We kind of saw a little bit of everything. We saw the fast goals coming in different ways. We saw creativity. We saw speed. And at the start of the season, everyone was just dreading watching this team trying to get the wheels going because it felt like they just couldn't skate. And it felt like they were dictating the push of this. And the Vladar blip aside, I would say this was pretty close to a hell of a road game. But I do have to say what happened to Dennis Gilbert totally took the wind out of the sails for me. It was hard watching him lay there. I don't think we can totally celebrate this win until we have an update on how he's doing. Shout out to Kent Kabelka and the team staff for being there for him right away and the guys helping him off the ice. But that's clouding what was a really great game for me.
It was a heck of an effort. It's a lot of teams we'd put in the same box as the Flames on this road trip. When you talk about Minnesota, you talk about Nashville, you got Philly coming up. They're 2-0 so far, 2 for 2. But the Gilbert injury does feel a little ominous. I feel like he's been quietly very steady as a guy that we didn't see as an NHL regular not that long ago. And I don't understand the major penalty. He almost initiated the contact, but the penalty or not, the result of the game or not, like it doesn't feel like Dennis is going to be ready for the matinees this weekend.
No, it was scary in that if he wasn't knocked cold, he was very close to it. He was in a bad way. And even minutes later, as he needed help getting off the ice, his legs, he was not putting much in the way of weight. So hopefully he's okay. But obviously, to your point, it's going to be a while before we see him.
Let's look at the standings after the victory last night. That's 3 in a row with the sweater vest as well, Dean. We keep an eye on
Pike Bomb.
Pike Bomb there. It's 3-0 with the sweater vest for Huska. A huge key to success here in 2024 and late 2023. All of a sudden, they're creeping up. They're above 500. Seattle currently in a wild card, basically just based on the number of games they've played. They played a bunch more than Edmonton. Arizona, like you're right there with Nashville. If someone had tell you the Flames have to be better than Nashville to get in the playoffs, I think they can get in. If someone told you they got to be better than Seattle, yeah, they could do that. Better than Arizona? We'll see. We haven't had a good viewing of Flames Yotes yet. I don't think they're in the same class as Edmonton, but Dean, if they could be the second best team on that list of teams you see right there, would that be too hard to ask or is it achievable?
I thought the Wild would be along with Edmonton, the two teams that would kind of rise, but they've taken on so many injuries. Long season, but it might be a tough little stretch here for them. I'm surprised by what we're seeing. The Flames, it's an impressive run regardless of whether you think you're rebuilding or what you have for UFAs or any of that. They have points in 8 of 10. They've won 6 of 8. Any team in the NHL is going to take that kind of run. So it is surprising to me to see how well they're playing, because I still go back a month and was telling you, talk to me on December 23rd, because they're going to be clear. They're going to get beat, and this string of games against these opponents is going to put them through the ringer, and it really didn't. So it takes me, because I'm dumb. I said it earlier already. It takes me a long time to come around to things that are often very clear to other people. So I don't know.
Dean, if you're dumb, try to figure out what I've done here. This is quite something. And all of a sudden, a gap building from the top of the inverse standings with San Jose really taking charge of things all the way down to now suddenly 9th from the bottom. Calgary Flames.
2 in points percentage. It starts with a 2 and it's like a 6 or a something there. That's impressive. It's good work.
And honestly, the surprising thing for me here, like we knew San Jose wasn't going to be good. We knew Chicago wasn't going to be good. We know Anaheim's not there yet. Ottawa, Buffalo. what's going on? All
Mhm.
those young stars. Like if you're Craig Conroy in the offseason and someone's like, you can switch rosters with the Sabres or the Sens, you don't even think about it. Like, yeah, do it, done now. And yeah, they're younger and they're on their way up and they will be turning the corner, but those teams aren't there yet. They're just not.
No. And I wonder on both, neither team has strong goaltending.
No.
They're both probably a little bit more young than they'd like to be. I know Okposo is there in Buffalo, but I wonder if there's just not the right blend. I still don't worry about them long term.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
you look back to last year, everything was going right. Tage Thompson was having an unbelievable run, and things were
Yeah.
going in like crazy for Buffalo. And it's not to that level this year. But yeah, it's certainly a surprise to see them struggling to the extent that they are.
Great comment from Michael right now that I just saw pop up. Ottawa and Buffalo are a cautionary tale for everyone screaming for a rebuild. And I agree. It doesn't mean they won't be great teams, but if you went 3, 4, 5 years ago, you'd be like, oh yeah, they'll have turned the corner by 2024. They will have. They haven't. It's getting young's fun, but we're talking 2 years since Pierre Dorion said the rebuild was over? 2.5 years? Like,
Well,
no,
and
you're still not a playoff team.
And I think you have to be happy with the moves that they've made. You're happy with what you got for Carlson. You've been happy with a good number of your draft picks. Stützle's been great. Batherson, Norris, when healthy, has been very good. I know they're working on Shane Pinto and all of that. So I don't even know if trades and picks have gone sideways. The Stone, I don't know.
They'd want back, Dean. Like,
yeah,
he's better than any goalie they have. That was a bad deal. Talbot, since he's gone, looks a lot better. DeBrincat, they paid way more to get him for what they sold him for a year later. Like, there's been some mistakes.
Yeah.
But not huge ones.
But to your point, if you were a Senators fan and clamoring for a rebuild, you would sit today and say, well, yeah, some of those things didn't work out, but we've still got Tkachuk, we've still got this. You would still feel good about it.
Totally.
But maybe it's going to take Staios some time. Get his fingerprints on it.
Okay. We showed you the standings. Let's show you the schedule. Here's what's coming up to close out this 4-game roadie. It's back-to-back matinees this weekend. We've got full Afterburner coverage. I believe Saturday is Kemi and Pike, and Sunday will be Pike and Kent Wilson. So immediately following those games, we'll have them rolling on Flames Nation YouTube account. And of course, when those are finished, you'll find it wherever your podcasts are. So if you're busy in the afternoon, you can still get a recap on what the heck went down out east for the back-to-back matinees on the road. That is a weird one. We don't often see the back-to-back matinees out east for this Flames club.
Some daytime Pike in your life.
There you go. Oliver Shillington, we had the great news yesterday that he was assigned to the Wranglers. Here is video evidence, Dean. This is great to see. There were many, many people, and rightfully so. There was no clarity on what was happening that thought this would never happen again. And here it is. And it doesn't mean anything except that he's skating with the Wranglers. That's a big step. We don't know if there's a next step or what the next step is. This is where he's at now, and this is better than what it's been for a long time for Oliver. Great to see it.
Somebody had chimed in on the post-game show last night with Cammy and I asking when's he going to be in the lineup? He can't tell you. The team can't tell you. The Wranglers, the Flames, they can't tell you. He's going to have to. It's going to be more steps. Get into some practices, then get into some games, and then if the games go well, then how are you feeling? Are we good? Then get into some practices with the big teams, and then take some contact at the NHL level practices. So I don't think this is a next week kind of thing. I could be wrong, but I think with the momentum and the ground that's been made, they're going to make sure that there's no need to rush at this point. Just continue to do what's been working and I would guess, let Oliver kind of decide when the time is right. If he's at game shape and if everything on the ice looks good, you kind of got to leave it up to him, I think.
Yeah, there's two passages. There's the physically onesie ready and there's the mentally onesie ready, and both don't have timelines attached to them. This is not a healing bone. This is a guy that has not played since May 2022, Cammy said last night. Like it's... And you hope to not playing in the best league in the world. You can't expect the guy to just step right in. It's going to take some time.
And you hope he's as excited as the fans are.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And he had the release yesterday, and it sure seems like he's in a good spot. So you hope that the dark days are behind.
Flames fans, if we get clarity on when he's going to play and make his debut for the Wranglers at home, that will be a moment.
There you go.
Cammy noted they're on the road and then they're back home. Maybe, but that would be very, very cool. Defense, staying with it. Shillington skating with the minor league club. Gilbert hurt on the major league club. A transaction today is second rounder Jan Kuznetsov has been summoned from the Wranglers. Another big Eastern European, not Solovyov this time, but Kuznetsov, who played college hockey. And he's been plying his trade at the AHL level for a while now.
Well, there you go. That boy, Jan.
I don't have hot takes for Jan Kuznetsov, but he is in the NHL with the big club, at least practicing on the road now.
Hey, you know what it is? It's another kid coming up and getting a taste.
Sure. Yeah. And look,
Get in.
Until you see him at the NHL level, you don't know what he is at the NHL level.
Yeah.
And I've been kind of impressed by Solovyov, given how recently he was drafted, how late of a pick he was. Who knows what we got here?
And to your point, quickly on Gilbert, going back to it, because he was clunked there. I had it in my notes. I thought he played really well last night. That he had maybe kind of got into that spot. You didn't think of him as a worry in that bottom pairing. He didn't really ever leave you. I felt like you worried more about Zadorov when he had the puck sometimes than you did with Gilbert, because he's been pretty steady back there. So
he has. It's a really simple game he plays, and he's tough, and he never tries to do too much, which always got Zadorov in trouble, right? And I'm not saying he's a better player than Zadorov. I don't think he is, but you worry about Osterley out there. You worry about DeSimone at times. You just didn't have that same level of concern with Gilbert, so you're going to get.
You may not have thought anything about Gilbert, and that's probably the point.
Probably perfect for a 5, right? Rhett would tell you don't get noticed as 5. That's a great night. Okay, we move. Sharks. Still not good, Dean. They now, at what? Not even the halfway point of the season, are on their second 10-game losing skid. Not winless skid, loser points, all regulation losses. Whee.
Now, for all the people that bemoan tanking, is everyone okay with what they're seeing in San Jose? Because they've clearly iced a team that they don't think is very good.
This was the culmination of making the playoffs 16 out of 17 years, trading first rounds and second rounders for ages, not having a prospect cupboard, and needing to get out from under that Erik Karlsson contract. There's nothing there. I just don't know how this team was going to be good. They're spending a lot of money on guys that are over the hill. When you look at Mark-Edward Vlasic's contract, he's been healthy scratch, making almost 70 years a defenseman. A few of the good guys they do have, they're probably going to try to trade. And it's Mike Greer's, he's in the first year of that job?
I have no problem.
He's got the time for it right now, and I don't know how they were going to be good. I think everyone thought they'd be awful, and they are awful.
Yeah, they're embracing the awful. The stink, they're loving it.
Yeah. And look, I just don't think it was not the Calgary Flames situation. What do we do? This was like when Jay Feaster took over. This was a forced rebuild. There was no other options available. Gritty used one of our favorite audio clips from the last 5 years. Dean? Gritty's a DJ. Let's have a listen.
One thing we do have is balls.
They got balls. Dino.
Gritty. I love Gritty. How did we ever not like Gritty? Only lasted for about a day, but Gritty's the best.
Yeah, there's a few examples of that, but not many, where it's everyone hated it, and 3 days later, everyone's like, no, we all love this.
Yeah, we've come around. Yeah, in a very short amount of time. Attaboy, Gritty. Did he throw any cakes at anybody while he was DJing, or?
I don't know. He was picking up moms the other day during the intermission hockey. Gritty's an animal, just awesome. Yeah. And that is one of the greater audio clips Torts has given us since post New York, because he and Brooksy had a real good run there. But Jennifer, that was in Columbus.
Balls.
Since he got to Philly, we've got balls.
Yeah.
It's one thing we have is balls. Rhett's debts still owes $100 to the league. Thanks, Rhett. Dean, you're waiting on $1,000. When are you going to put the heat on the Rhettster?
I like Rhett's debts. That's
it's a new segment every day. We bring it up.
And what's good is he really doesn't seem bothered by it.
Doesn't care. No.
A lot of people that would bug them. That it's I got to get this paid off. I'm tired of the guys having to.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
He seems very fine with it all, which is
zero urgency.
Maybe not surprising.
Not surprising at all. No.
Sorry, don't be shocked by expected behavior. Isn't that what you say all the time?
That's my thing, man. That's my thing. This guy's an asshole. Hey, why is he being an asshole? You just told me he was an asshole. Why don't you expect him to be an asshole?
don't be shocked by expected behavior.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Let's go to the NFL. Big game. Wish we had Rhett for this. It would have been fun for Rhett's stats so we could embarrass him, but also we could talk about this. Game of the week. Bills, Dolphins, AFC East. Right there for you. You want it? Go get it.
Go get it.
Whew.
How bad do you want it?
Good quarterback matchup, too.
Mm-hmm.
There's some weird games this week, man. There's a lot of good players sitting. There's some bad teams favored to beat very good teams that won't be trying. It is a very good reminder why you don't play fantasy football in week 18. This would have been a nightmare to navigate.
And maybe you save if you have some shekels
Yeah.
that you like putting on games. Maybe you wait a week until there's some wild cards.
Dude, wild card weekend's going to be nuts.
where you know what you're getting. Because there's a lot of guys that you've probably never heard of going to be playing major minutes this weekend.
The other thing to remember, they just expanded last year to that 17 playoff, if I'm correct, meaning we get 6 games on wild card weekend instead of 4. Like, it is going to be a bonanza.
Delicious.
When we're down in Phoenix. We'll be back for the Sunday, though. That's good.
Oh, look at that Saturday matchup there.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
Jack, how we feeling? Jack, we need to check in. Let's go to the Jack cam.
That's the game I'm least worried about. I think Pittsburgh will beat. I think they'll beat the Ravens.
See, I definitely understand the Ravens won't be trying, but is it that Huntley's the backup?
Yeah,
Mhm.
He's probably
all
better than
right.
Mason Rudolph. And like they're gonna bring in Dalvin Cook and like
How can you say he's better than Mason Rudolph?
because Mason Rudolph's had 2 good weeks. Go look at what Huntley
Mason
did last.
Rudolph played like half a season for the Steelers like 2 years ago.
And why
won,
didn't
like,
he win the
7
job
games.
if he's
How'd that go?
It was fine until he got a helmet over the head.
Mm.
You can't
Miles
say
Garrett?
Tyler Huntley's better than Mason Rudolph.
I think if GMs are picking, you'd have a lot of people taking Huntley. The legs are better. Whatever. My point is, I think Baltimore's going to put in guys that I think still are good.
Yeah, they probably will, but I don't think they'll play the whole game.
You know what's happening right now? Jack is back on the Steelers.
It is a roller
Jack's
coaster.
back,
man.
baby.
This is like watching a mogul skier. The knees are just like as you go down the hill. That's Jack in and out on the Steelers all season.
Yeah, and just write it down that at 25, Jack was banging the drum for Mason Rudolph.
Yes.
Should we need to come back and revisit audio at any time in the future?
Yeah, it's like, and I'm sure he's been serviceable, and I haven't watched much, but let's not pretend this has been like Joe Flacco's last 3 weeks.
No, but they have.
Hey, you don't back down, Jack.
Don't back down.
Don't back down.
Boom. Someone asked last night. I forgot to get to it. Where are you at on the Bears with Fields?
Yeah, you keeping or are you using that pick on a quarterback? That's a tough spot.
I think I'd keep him for now.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on dude sitting in his mom's arms crying after a football game. No thanks. I'm done.
Okay. 49ers good at football. They might not be this weekend, but have a look at this. 9 Pro Bowlers. Whew, that's a few. Dean, McCaffrey, Bosa, Purdy, Hargrave, Juszczyk, Kittle, Warner, Williams, Ward. That's a nice roll there. That they didn't look great against Baltimore the other day, but don't worry. They still have a lot of people in the league at the best at their position.
Yeah, they've had a heck of a year. I don't know how I feel about it.
What are the things you're battling? I mean,
Well,
how are
I
you not
should-
impressed with what you see?
Are you happy? Are you happy for them? Is this a team that's like, look at this group of upstart? I would be happy for them to win. I don't know if I'd be happy for them to win. I don't know how I feel about Purdy. I feel like I should be happier for
jacked.
him.
Yes, Mr. Irrelevant. And they got screwed last year with the injury in the NFC Championship game.
I know.
Like,
yeah,
how do
I
you not
know.
have a soft spot for that?
Jack, how do you feel about the Niners?
He said they were shit week 1, remember?
That's
Overrated,
right.
not good.
I thought they were the best team by far until the Ravens spanked them. So I don't really know anymore.
And they don't have to worry about the Ravens unless they get to the Super Bowl final. Like I think they're the best team in the NFC. Can we agree
Yeah,
on
for
that?
sure. Like Philly's been the shits.
Yeah.
Cowboys
Dallas
are-
proved to be frauds for a bit there.
Yeah. Dallas, Detroit has their moments.
Dean, best team in the NFC?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I'm excited for the playoffs. It's all great playoffs. NFL, they're good at this stuff. Hey, this whole pro sports league thing, very good at it.
Yeah, the league's quite
See what they're
popular.
doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, popularity is important. I mean, I'm not to say that it is, or what am I?
No, I think probably financially, I think they're doing well. You might even see a sellout or two over the next
Really?
few weeks. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Fans are really getting into NFL.
Well, and if that's the case, I mean, watch out for these rights, the broadcast rights, that they might become very valuable.
Yeah, that's right.
Keep an eye on that. You heard that here first. Let's go to some nonsense to close the week. Dean, we're jumping into the weekend like this. Like we're going no holds barred right into the weekend. Let's do it. Yeah. Get me a cocktail.
Yeah, that's some of these independent leagues with the fluorescent lights. The light
Not
bulbs.
as well organized as the NFL is sort of my vibe.
Very
here.
big. Watch, we're gonna flag for this.
Oh yeah, right. I hope not.
Remember the last one we did? We got friggin' taken down. That's you know what? That's good times right there.
That is yeah.
That's
The
some
other Peter
Buffalo
Klein?
Bill. That's some Bills Nation-esque kind of fun right there.
The other way to launch your weekend, Dean, is start with a mimosa. Just don't do it this way. There is no required process to drink the mimosa. You just sip normally. Okay. Oh. Old glass mouth. You see what he's doing there?
Yeah.
This is idiotic. Oh, and then he spills all over his lap. I mean, the weather looks nice there. Short sleeves.
It does look
that's a
nice.
win.
Yeah, he's got his suns out, guns out.
But now he's got glass in his mouth. Don't
Yeah.
do that, folks.
That's good. Idiot.
Rhett and Rob Ray were at a music festival in Buffalo the other day.
Wow.
And they were dressed up as Ninja Turtles on stage. Look at the moves, Dino, eh?
Yeah, look at it. All right.
One thing left to do.
Oh,
Nope.
I feel
It's
you
a
need to
move.
coordinate the crowd surf with the crowd.
It's got to be a
when-
two-way street, doesn't it?
Yeah. Because if they
Oh.
don't, if they're not into it, it doesn't work as well, for sure. For those that are just listening and not watching,
Oh.
fat guy in a green suit face plants onto the pavement.
Goes to crowd surf. There was no
And
wave to
everybody-
surf. There was
Everybody
a parting.
gets out of the way in a hurry, as they should have.
You need everyone all hands on deck for that one to work, and you don't want to be the only one going. It was an immediate decision, and everyone said out, not in.
And that guy is going to have a hard sell. So here's
Oh,
what
yeah.
I'm going to need. I'm in this green tights, and you could see you could kind of see my stuff flapping around there. I'm
Yeah.
going to jump, and then you need to take your hands and
That's me.
kind of hold some of what I've got going on.
And
Tough sell.
you're looking at someone pushing 3 bills. That's
Yeah, at
Oof.
least I'm going to say he's pushing beyond 3 bills, but to your point.
Now that would be bad, but something that would hurt worse. Don't fuck with bulls, Dean. This is not good, Dean.
This AI.
That is not AI.
Ooh,
And that kid
man.
is out cold.
You know what?
Bulls are horrifyingly scary.
You don't see Cody Snyder getting kicked like that. That's an amateur. That's some amateur event. That's not bull busting, right?
That is amateur hour for sure. We got some video of some amateur parkour. Kids are idiots. These are young men. They're dumb. They do not have fully formed brains. This is bad parkour.
Damn.
Because you know how it's going to go. You think. And then
That
the
is-
head. Listen.
Oh, there's some dental work. That's
Dental plan.
That's dental work, and I would guess protein shakes for a good 6 weeks.
Yeah, you're drinking hamburger through a straw. That is
Yeah,
no
there's some. Get your
good.
Vitamix out because it's going
Ouch.
to be full-time shakes for a while.
Now, Rhett got some video on New Year's Eve. I think this
Mhm.
is the shoveler and her friend Ashley. Now, it was really, really icy in Buffalo. They were out partying, and it's
Mhm.
just so tough in those high heels. Let's have a look.
Oh my God, Ashley, get up. Ashley, get up.
Becky and Veronica.
Oh my
did
gosh.
so hard. That's
But oh no. Ashley,
It's tough. High heels and ice, Steve.
It's so tough. Yeah.
You almost need a travel wardrobe.
Nice of those guys to lend a helping hand as opposed to just kind of pointing and laughing.
Yeah, it's true. You wouldn't want to just stay in your car and do color commentary on the whole thing.
Yeah. Good
Couple
times.
more. You know, Rhett and Rob share backyards.
Of course.
They
Yeah.
got the chain link fence, and it's classic Buffalo above ground pool.
Mm-hmm.
Big party, huge. This was before the New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve, yeah.
And if you look to the left side of the pool, there's something that I don't think it's a diving board, Dean, but I think people are jumping in the pool. Let's have a look.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! I told you. Oh my God!
That's that is an under rotation. Sometimes there's the over rotation.
The thing about jumping into the pool is you have to jump into the pool. You don't want to stand still and then just do a backflip and land on your face outside of the pool.
We've seen a lot of head and neck
It's a lot of
snaps the last
drama.
2 days, have we not?
I don't know if I should feel guilty about it or not. There's been a lot of head trauma suffered. There's been a
Yeah, I
lot of
wouldn't feel
years
that.
shaved off the lives of strangers we'll never meet.
You didn't make them do it.
I sure didn't.
You've got a Pinder report to run. It's not your fault.
You know what we're doing? We're running free advice to our viewers to things not to do. That's what it's education. Don't
do any of this.
Our
None
final
of what you're seeing. No.
This might be the most important one for the fellas out there. Ladies, you're not going to have this issue. Fellas, do not, and I repeat, do not roll 250 pounds onto your junk. Wait for it, Dean.
Oh man.
So it's a triple header. Number one, he's on the workout bench. He's got too much weight. So now he's trying to get the weight off the bench. I just got to get, I'm quitting this. This exercise is not working. I need some help. Let's get it off. Rolls it over his hammer. And that is huge amounts of pain. Falls to the deck, writhing in pain. And the weights he's dropped begin rolling towards him. And wait for the sound. Ding.
And they clunk him right in the
Right on the head. That is a triple header you never want to see any third of.
He's trying to do some hip raises there.
Oof.
And just the tip. Even if it's just the tip, that's going to ruin your weekend. Babe,
He's going to be out of the hip thrusting business for a few months after that. This guy's on the shelf.
Oh boy.
That's your Pinder Report.
Thanks, Ryan. See, I was fine. That's a different type of head trauma. Don't need
just as painful, if not more though.
Village Honda, Northwest Ottawa, online at villagehonda.com. New in-stock inventory. If maybe you're not like Ryan. Ryan's a connoisseur in used. Maybe you want something brand new. They'll take care of you. New shipments daily on the ground. Your automotive adventures, they start and end at Village Honda. New vehicle pricing, as always, is MSRP. Oof.
I'm sorry about that. That's
one of those guy things where you almost need a standing 8 just from watching it.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny because like the wrestling stuff, falling 2 stories onto concrete through tables, that's not going to feel good either.
No,
but there's no sympathy there. It's like that's a very, very valid and understood decision they're making. They're choosing that. No one chooses the 250 pounds on the hammer. Oh,
I bet you though, he'll have a spotter or something the next time he does that.
Things are going to go a whole lot differently the next time. I can guarantee that.
There's going to be different strategy.
Next time.
Yeah.
He might just quit the gym after that. I'd understand that too.
Maybe. I had this. Well, I don't know. I think this was your family actually.
What?
I'm trying to. Tyler, I think is your brother. You got a brother named Tyler or
something?
somebody?
Bob. Yeah, cousin Tyler.
Christmas. Because I know you have
Tyler?
gone to Outdoor Dental with Dr. Jay Patel, and you've had the procedure done with the Soleil laser in the back of right at the back of your mouth, where they tighten up the soft palate, and then that helps take away the snoring.
Yeah.
Because if you are a snorer, then you don't sleep as well, and you don't get as much sleep, and it's poor quality sleep. What little you get, and those around you, it's a nightmare. This was Christmas. Well, maybe a cousin of yours after Christmas dinner.
Is this Ty? Oh, that turkey's kicked in.
Devin.
Devin.
Devin. Devin.
That is not an open airway. Oof.
Baby.
Baby.
Devin.
Devin.
Are you okay?
I mean,
just want some normal sleep.
That
Are
guy.
you okay?
Are you okay?
You okay, Gavin?
I like right at the end there that loud snort was actually not one of us. It was him. So he had the snoring going there, and then the big loud one. That's usually how it goes. You get the one that finally wakes you up. Don't be like Devin. You don't need to live like Devin. Go and see Dr. J. Outdoor.dental is the website. You can speak to it. I know Jay, as Dr. J has been saying, we've had guys coming in. They've been doing the procedure. Put that on your 2024. While you're talking about, I'm going to be healthy, I'm going to do this. How about some sleep? You maybe don't even think about it. If you know you snore, outdoor.dental. They got all the details there online. We've been telling you about it for months and months. Dr. J's an OG with Barn Burner. It's been over a year now. We've been telling you about the snoring treatment with the laser, 2 15-minute treatments. It's painless. They put a topical kind of a cream or whatever on there. Yeah, that's what it is. And then you go for 1 50-minute treatment, come back again, and then you're sleeping so much better. Imagine your days and how you would feel while you're awake if while you're actually asleep, you're getting quality sleep.
You're going to get those 2 15-minute segments back real quick in quality sleep. I'll tell you that.
There you go. Don't be like Devin. Catching flies. Baby. Outdoor.dental. Go see Dr. J and start sleeping better, feeling better, living better. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you do it? Do some Betway.
Betway for Devin.
Do your Betway bets. Get your Betway bets. As you said, get the Betway app on your phone. We've been telling, again, you talk about OGs. Betway's been with us from day number 1. The Betway boys, they're coming out to Jasper. Looking forward to seeing them again. Good people, and get it on your phone. We're going to
had a good day yesterday. Dean had a good day.
Yeah. And as far as the NFL, we're going to have fewer games here soon. It's not going to be a whole, right? There's fewer teams, fewer games. It's hard to take, but this is one of those ways to keep stay as invested and love those teams. Neither one of the teams, my favorite team isn't playing. This is how you keep the blood pumping. You got to love it. But bet the responsible way, of course, with Betway. Get the Betway app on your phone. Here's where I'm going. Pittsburgh at Baltimore. Sorry, Jack. I'm kind of with Pinder. I feel like the Antlers and Red Nose might fall off of Rudolph this weekend.
Tough time of year for Rudolph.
They're getting 3 points at home. I think it's a savvy, defensive enough team to maybe hold off the Pittsburgh Steelers, or at least take the 3 points. Minnesota at Detroit. The Lions not happy with how last week ended. They are off to the playoffs. I think Dan Campbell, man, we're not going to back into the playoffs, man. I think the Lions are going to be ready at home, -3.5. They're trying to scare me off with the 0.5. You couldn't do it, Betway. I'm taking Detroit and giving away 3.5. And Philly, at some point, if there's a team that needs to feel better about life going into the postseason, it's the Philadelphia Eagles. 5.5 point favorites on the road in New York. It's hardly a road trip. There will be more Eagles fans than Giant fans at MetLife. This is a get-right spot for the Eagles. Give away 5.5 points. So I got Baltimore, Detroit, and Philly on my card for Week 18.
Very good. I'm thinking about that Philly game, thinking like if that was 2 months ago, is that 12 points they're laying there?
I know.
5.5. That's very reasonable against a not good Giants team. We'll see if Philly can get their shit together. Okay, I'm with you. I like Baltimore at home +3. This isn't going to be the starters. This is kind of taking a stab in the dark. You don't know what the Baltimore backups look like, but I don't think they look bad. Anytime someone gets hurt, I mean, how many running backs have they rolled through the last 2-3 years? Just next guy up, he's good too.
Yeah, they've been dealing with injuries, it feels like forever. So these are not green rookies that'll be going in.
Totally. And it sounds like Dalvin Cook might end up there as a free agent. He's passed through waivers. Dalvin. And then who's the other running back they got on the practice squad?
Melvin Gordon.
Melvin Gordon. Like, you could rest 2-3 regulars just all those guys going.
And not just Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon, the third.
Mel 3.
Yeah.
MG3. That sounds cool, actually. Yeah, I like that. I also like Tennessee to beat Jacksonville. Jacksonville, I don't get what they are. They're leading the AFC at one point. Like, no, you're not good. And Tennessee at home. Is this the Derrick Henry swan song? The final game in Tennessee? We shall see.
Could write a song about it. Final game in Tennessee.
And I just want to make sure that Jack's got this written down right. It is plus 3.5, not minus 3.5. I'm taking those points, not laying those, Jack.
Yep. I
Thank
might
you.
have made the same mistake.
It's all right. Plus sign for a minus sign. Easy swap. Away we go.
Come on, Jack.
Finally, Bill Belichick's going to end his time in New England with a win at home against the Jets. It has not been a great year, but he has been a tough out for teams down the stretch. They had that 6-0 loss to the Chargers. They were in tough with the Bills. They've beaten the Bills. I think he goes out with, at least with a little bit of dignity here with New England. They're working hard. They're still playing defense. It's classic Bill Belichick. His teams are ready to play on Sunday. Minus
I'm
one.
kind of with you there. I'm kind of with you. And it's just the Jets.
Yeah, I mean,
Robert Saleh and they're the Jets.
First team to 10 points wins, right?
That said, love Brees Hall.
Love Brees.
Love you, buddy.
Yeah, you and I both won a league with Brees. You won our league, and my other one, Brees, a very, very, very nice fantasy playoff.
Attaboy, Brees.
Thank you, Brees.
Thanks, Brees.
Brees Lightning. Love
Brees.
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 Breesy. Yeah. Let's see what our coworker, our part-time worker friend.
Yeah.
Oh, he's on Pittsburgh with Jack. Look at that. He's taking Pittsburgh minus 3.
Yeah. Has he had these same 3 picks for how many weeks in a row now?
It's a while.
He takes Pittsburgh for Jack and then does Buffalo and Dallas. I don't know
I'm
that
sure
he
he's
looks
just
at
crunching the
lines or
numbers.
opponents.
Just a coincidence.
Yeah.
It's not laziness at all.
The Buffalo one is interesting. I was going to go with the Bills minus 2.5. It's a huge game for them, but wouldn't it be Billsy for them to step to do a hip raise, dumbbell on their junk in a huge game right before the playoffs? I don't know. I just had to stay away from it.
I'll say this: if that's a pick 'em, like if it's no points trading, I like Buffalo here. 2.5 feels like that's.
And what's Miami doing with their? Because Waddle is out. I got to be honest. I haven't looked in the last day.
Another
to see
linebacker
practice.
they lost Chubb last week too. Like
yeah. So I mean, Hill has been in and out. Mostert didn't play last week. I think Waddle is out. It may not matter.
They're resting Mostert again.
Yeah. So
Achan's in. We'll see. That should be a good game. I still think that's game of the week.
Attaboy, Achan.
Yeah.
Love you, Devon.
Yeah.
All right, Jack. Let's go.
Oh, and finally, sorry, did you get his last one in there? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What was your last one?
It was dead Dallas. Yeah.
Well, he had Dallas
against
minus
Washington.
13.
Does Dallas need to win?
I think a win wraps up NFC East for them if Philly loses. Or am I crazy?
I believe that's the case.
So they are playing to win. They're not resting Dak. They're not resting Lamb. They're going with their guns. That's why the spread is what it is.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, Pittsburgh going to Baltimore. I don't know what you guys are thinking. It's like you didn't see the last matchup these two teams played. Kenny Pickett was playing. Matt Canada was still there, and they still beat the Ravens. Ravens are a sad team. Pittsburgh will dominate. 3 is not enough against backups. Then we got Jacksonville going to Tennessee. Mike Vrabel was pissed after the last game.
Yes, he was.
He said he effing hates losing.
Yes.
We need Tennessee to win. Tennessee plus 3.5. They cover, they win. Pittsburgh gets in the playoffs. And if that fails, then we got this game. Buffalo at Miami. I don't feel good about it, but I got to stick to my guns. The nerd, great coach. Tyreek Hill, Tua, the boys will pick up.
Poor Rhett. Rhett took
I didn't want to go
for
against
you.
Rhett, but Rhett told me to stick to my guns. I got to cover everything here.
That gets the Steelers in if all these things happen, correct?
They only need one of the two to happen, but
that's impressive stuff, Jack. He's found a way for Steelers to get into the playoffs, Dean. This is unsurprising.
It's not surprising at all. It's not at all surprising. I
like how he said Baltimore's a sad team. You're like, yeah, resting your guys in week 18, wrapped up the bye. They're pretty sad.
They are just down in the mouth.
Distraught. Love it. I love Jack and football picks. Just one of my favorite times of the week.
So what are you doing for the game tomorrow, Jack?
Well, we got the Flames game, and then we got Afterburner, and then
what time's that game tomorrow?
2:30.
Yeah.
So it'll be a quick turnaround there. I'll just have it on at home.
You got any Steelers homies that are coming over?
I feel like I want to watch you watch the
Yes.
Steelers.
We need a
somehow.
Betway stream of this.
Can you throw a laptop cam on you or something as you watch this thing?
Yeah, we could talk about it.
You know
All
what?
right.
I would like to see the final 2 minutes, Jack on camera, no matter the outcome, no matter the score. Because if Pittsburgh's winning, you could just be giving it to us. You idiots didn't trust me. I know the Steelers. And if they're losing, you're just going to be down in there. You just can't trust this team. You know, it wasn't Canada. It wasn't Pickett. Tomlin's got to go. I'm saying, whatever the outcome, it'll be incredibly entertaining.
I don't know what you guys are thinking. Did you not watch earlier in the season?
What was that, like week 3? Get out.
No, it was like mid-season.
You're the man, Jack.
Love it.
You're the man.
Sad team.
And you know what? I am rooting for. I want them to get in for you. I do.
If it's good for the show, if Pittsburgh's in, yeah, because he's going to find a way to call a Pittsburgh upset in wildcard weekend, which is just going to be something special to watch.
And then playoff football. Let's go.
Telling you, wildcard weekend,
so
six
good, man.
6 playoff games. This is your last buffet. Last week's buffet was better because the good teams are playing everyone. Next week is elimination football times 6. Enjoy these final drips in the bottle, Dean.
Wildcard weekend's the best too because it's 2 Saturday, 3 Sunday, and then 1
So
game
good.
Monday as well.
Like 3 games on Sunday, like 6 total. This is beautiful stuff.
That was usually my Vegas weekend. A buddy of
Really?
mine always had a trade show that he'd go down to Vegas and I would just go along because he had rooms. And you would just sit in the sports book and just drink buckets of beer and have bets down. So good.
When are we doing a Vegas trip? We got to go to that Circa swim in a pool at a sports book watching sports.
We're like a short drive away next weekend, and they play in Vegas on Saturday. Bad planning. Next Saturday.
I don't think Phoenix is a bad plan. I'll say that, but you could definitely turn it into a 2-legger pretty easily, couldn't you?
Still maybe could. Flights are made to be changed. Coming up in 2 weeks' time, this January is just going to go. That's what it's going to do, just like that. Oh, I blew my focus out. There we go. Coming up from the 19th to the 21st, we are heading back to Jasper.
Oh, baby.
It's the Jasper Pond Hockey Tournament, brought to you by Tourism Jasper and presented by our friends at Booster Juice. Hello, Booster Juice. Get a little bit of a boost with Booster Juice. I like saying Booster Juice. Now, there's 2 things going on. We're talking about Booster Juice, but we're also talking about if you want to come and be part of the tournament, you can as well. Now, the website, chehockey.com, they are the organizers of the tournament. Space, it says here, very limited. So by the time you maybe go and look, if maybe you've got your team of guys, you would roll into something like this and have a great time, and you would. Go to chehockey.com and look to see if you can get yourself in. Failing that, we are going to be there at the beautiful Fairmont Jasper Park Lodge, playing games on the beautiful Lake Mildred, the mountains in the background. Picturesque.
Mildred. I remember her well.
She's a beaut.
She's a beaut, Clarky.
We're going to have a bunch of people from the Nation Network there. Frank Seravalli coming in for it. We're going to have a little hot stove, and then it's Edmonton, Calgary, Saturday night on the big screen.
Flames Nation, Oilers Nation on the pond, and then we go inside to watch Flames Oilers on the tube. How good is that?
It'll be all right. It'll be all right.
I also think we would be remiss not to mention the star of the Holiday Spirits show will also be in attendance.
See, now, how much Leafs Nation is Alberga coming out?
Alberga's
too?
coming as well. He asked me, he said, "What's this event all about?" I said, "You're going to be a star." And he said, "Oh, is it Olympic boozing?" I said, "Yes, it is."
Yeah. So we're going to have a great time. We'll be doing a bunch of content. I know we're doing pre-games and post-games. I think it's a conjoined twins kind of a pre-game and post-game.
Flames and Oilers fans have been getting along great for decades.
Yeah,
this is going to go great.
Yeah, that'll be really great.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you're watching on our YouTube and the Oilers YouTube. And thanks to everybody up at Fairmont Jasper Park Lodge for taking good care of us a year ago. They'll do it again. And it is powered and presented by Booster Juice. Download the new Booster Rewards app today. Start earning berry points for delicious and nutritious smoothies, drinks, and food that will get you through the day. It's 2024. Everyone's got their New Year's resolutions. I'm going to start walking. I'm going to the gym. I'm going to be changing. Hey, you want to be healthy? Get a little booster juice in there.
There you go.
Tell you what, when my kids are older now, but at the Cardell rink, they have a booster juice in there.
They do.
Oh, saved my life a few times.
Really?
I need something cold and delicious right now.
Yes.
I'll have a boost. Yeah, please. I'll have the booster.
That's a pretty
juice.
good setup they've got there. I know they went a long time before they got a pub in there, but they've got some options there.
So thank you, Booster Juice. Get re-energized, feel better, refuel, refresh with Booster Juice. This month is a marathon because we are doing Arizona next weekend and then Jasper. And I think we have a weekend to kind of recoup. And then we are going to be in Toronto the week leading up to, or at least a few days leading up to the All-Star game.
We'll be there for the All-Star festivities, most of them. I believe Thursday night's the draft, Friday's skills. We'll be there for those. And then the game Saturday. So we'll be covering the All-Star festivities from Toronto in a sense.
Barn burner coming to you live from somewhere in Toronto.
Somewhere very centrally located. I'm liking the part of town we're in, Dean.
Good.
We're not stuck in the sticks. We are right in the action. Nice. The entertainment district, baby.
Nice.
Yeah.
That makes me feel good.
I like when you feel good, Dean. It makes me feel good.
It's all about feeling good. Let's do a little DoorDash for what's on the menu tonight. You can DoorDash because it's Friday. I'm tired. It's been a long week. Hard to get back into the work thing after the Christmas and New Year's break. I just want to come home tonight and put my feet up. And a little DoorDash will let you do just that. Ordering is easy. You open the app, choose what you want from where you want, and the items will be left safely just outside your door. And for a limited time, we've been telling you, if you haven't done it yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. Our listeners and viewers get 25% off and zero delivery fees on your first order of $15 or more. You just download the DoorDash app and enter promo code NATION25, NATION25, to get that 25% discount. What is on the menu tonight?
Some people are already eating, Dean. We got another brunch dinner situation. The brunch is the gold medal game. It's currently 0-0 between the Americans and the Swedes at the World Juniors. It does not get much better than a team hosting the World Juniors playing in the final. That is occurring right now on your internets and TVs and streams and tubes and such.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. So you can get yourself a little brunch DoorDash there. I'm thinking maybe eggs Benny, extra hollandaise sauce, and we're going with hash on the side. So good. Oh,
nice. Yeah.
And then tonight, Raptors, Sacramento Kings. You're a hooper and a dimer. You'll be watching.
Hooper and a dimer.
I saw these two teams play in the preseason. Remember when I went to Vancouver instead of be with my family at Thanksgiving to watch preseason NBA basketball?
It was kind of awkward.
For the rematch.
Yeah, it was very strange then. Still strange now.
Sacramento favored by 4.5. For dinner, I'm going to say let's go just like a burger, bacon. We're going to add the mushrooms and cheese. Really treat yourself with those extras on the burger tonight. That's what's on the menu for DoorDash.
There you go. It's that easy. Get the DoorDash app. Promo code NATION25. Going to save you that 25%. Dash that for the win with DoorDash. This is going to be an interesting weekend between the last little bit of football. We got a couple of Flames games.
Yeah.
Keeping an eye on, obviously, I think people are going to be Oliver Shillington. That is such great news. Right?
Isn't it amazing?
Just hope that continues to, because without having any details, right? But you just assume when something has gone that long, it just feels like it's an unfortunate situation that won't come around. Maybe time has helped and things can come around here. You hope for him that's the case. And obviously, if that is the case, then everybody else can feel great about it, because what an ad he would be for the hockey team.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because first off, and as you said, like the most important thing is the human here. This is a phenomenal development. Once we've acknowledged that's the most important thing, you can then start to say, now,
sure,
can we get the pencil out and look at the roster a little? Because I feel like there could be some minutes available on the blue line around, I don't know, March 9th. They have two defensemen under contract. Gilbert's hurt. No one would be surprised if they traded Hanifin and Tanev. And this guy had an incredible leap in Daryl's first year here playing with Chris Tanev, who may or may not be around if and when Oliver returns. But he is exactly what they will need the most, theoretically, in this imaginary play line where they trade 2 defensemen. So it's not only a great story for the human, it could be an amazing development for the hockey club as well.
Jack, what do you got on for the weekend? You mentioned if you're watching the Steelers and that tomorrow, but you got to.
It's afterburnered up all weekend.
I know you're afterburnered up, but outside of that, are you going to.
Tonight's a COD night. We're playing Call of Duty all night. Boys, scheduled that down.
LAN party?
Yeah, we got the LAN party. Let the ladies know. Tonight was a COD
let
night.
them know. Gotta let them know.
A Steelers and Flames game day.
Can we just pause really quick?
This is a great weekend.
I want to get back to COD night.
What?
So when you let the ladies know, is it like we'll see you Saturday morning, or is it like we're meeting at midnight after we fry our brains? Like, is this a full write-off, or is it like, ladies, just give us a few hours, we'll see you. Well, we're going to meet at this place at this time.
No, it's a complete write-off.
Oh my god,
it's a COD night.
Video games over girls. It is a different generation.
And see, when you said it first, I was like, oh, it's like a
fish and
seafood
chips
thing. Like, is it a maritime kitchen party kind of a thing? Oh no, it's Call of Duty. Yeah. Okay.
No, yeah, I got a big weekend. So Call of Duty tonight, tomorrow Flames, Steelers, and then Sunday even more football. So I don't know how much girlfriend time I'll be getting in this weekend, but
you did tell her that you sacrificed Thursday night football last night, though.
Yeah,
right?
that
So
I did.
That's a few
and at least tonight, when you could spend time with her,
no, it's caught.
There's no chance we'll spend any time together. And I'm jammed up Saturday and Sunday. So
to be fair, I had asked her if she wanted to do something Friday, and then she's going to the Wranglers game, I guess. So
geez, she got her eye on one of those players, or what's the story?
I was gonna say, are you got your hands on the wheel here, Jack? Is everything all right?
It's not even ladies' night. It's go men play sports night. Jeez.
I don't think she even likes hockey. I'm not sure what's going on there. She said she got free tickets.
Yeah. Something with the players' wives section. I don't know.
Wags or something. I don't know what it is. A dog. Maybe taking dogs to the game. I'm not sure what it is. Yeah.
I'm playing Call of Duty. I'm not worried about it.
Ah, boy.
Gonna be poning noobs. He's not worried about real life.
That's right. Well, we can only
remember. I do remember when that first happened. Nintendo 64 came out when we were in, I want to say, junior high to high school, somewhere right around there. And all of a sudden, it was like, we're having a party at Jamie's house. We're all going to the basement. And the girls are all there. But they're like, these idiots are like lining up, waiting for someone to finish last so they can go play a game of Mario Kart. And we're all up in the kitchen bitching about these losers in the basement. And it was like, okay, there is a turning of the tide occurring here. Now, Jack doesn't even feel shame. But I remember when it first happened. And then Bond came out, and that was dangerous too. That was a hell of a multiplayer game. Girls had some competition.
We can only hope that all of you have as exciting a weekend as Jack has lined up.
Good
I
luck.
look forward to hearing all about it on Monday, Jack. Can we get a full report on Monday?
Yeah, I'm going to need to know. Yeah, I need some results, some data. You can send me the kill count, all that stuff.
That'd be great. Yeah, that would be great to know. And
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I know you are. I'm not doubting that at all. Make sure you find out from your chick who wins that Wranglers game.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll be. Attention to the score. Dean, enjoy the ODRs this weekend. We finally got the weather, and if you see any of the dads out there flooding the rinks, you give them a pat on the back. Tough winter for the rinks. They're turning the corner. It is ODR season. It's on, baby. Woo!
Very nice. Hope everybody has as great a weekend as you and Jack are lined up for.
Good luck.
It's a high bar. Not all of us can do it, but at least here's trying. Have a fine weekend. We appreciate you. Support the sponsors. Subscribe and like. And this show will be back on Monday. And, of course, watch Afterburner with Cammie and Pike and Kent Wilson, the return of Kent Wilson. Ooh, boy. Good to have Kent back on board. Have a great weekend, everybody. Appreciate you.
See ya.
See you, buddies.